Hello, my name is Ben Nathan from the Daily Forex School. Now, for new traders and seasoned traders alike, choosing the right broker can be very difficult. In fact, after a long-term relationship with Alpari, after the Swiss National Bank removed their floor, and thus the effect from that was that Alpari went into administration, I myself have also been, experienced at the long-term task of finding the right broker. So I'm going to go through a few simple things in terms of what to look for. Now, the first thing, first and foremost, we need to see in any broker good signs of regulatory compliance. Now, a flashy or professional, smooth-looking website doesn't actually guarantee that the broker has any form of regulation. Now, if you go with an unregulated broker, there's nothing there to stop them from potentially running away with your money. It's a big risk you take. So, regulated brokers, it's a must. Now, we're going to concentrate on the euro or the European Union. So, France, England, Germany, Sweden, etc., etc. All of those euro countries will have a couple of potential regulations. Now, the main one you'll see is CSEC, which stands for the Cyprus Securities and Exchange Commission. Another one, which if you're in the UK, is the FCA. And ultimately, what these regulatory compliance agencies are there to do, they're there to make sure that brokers aren't breaking the law. Now, if a broker does break the law or get caught out, generally you'll be able to find a notification of that on the regulatory body website. And we're going to go through that a little bit shortly. So the main thing is, don't go for the flashy website, go for the regulations. Okay? So, I can't stress that enough. If you don't go with a regulated broker, you should be very concerned. So the next thing to really consider when choosing the right broker is the account details. Now, each Forex broker has different account offerings. So the one thing you're going to see is leverage and margin. So Forex traders have access to a variety of leverage amounts depending on the broker. So you'll see things such as 50 to 1, 200 to 1, or even 500 to 1. And what leverage is, it's essentially a loan that's extended to the margin account holders by the broker. So let's use 50 to 1 as an example. So if your leverage is 50 to 1, if you've got an account size of $1,000, you can actually hold a position that is valued at $50,000. So leverage can work in your favour with winning positions since the profit potential is enhanced. However, it can very quickly destroy your account since the potential for losses is also leveraged up. So if you're going to lose your leverage, use it with caution. I never consider opening an account anything more than 100 to 1, and I always recommend use as little as is possible. So another part of the account details is commissions and spreads. So of course the broker's there to make money. It's on the one hand it's in their favour to make sure your account runs smoothly, because each trade you take, they'll make a small amount of money through commissions and spreads. So the longer your account keeps growing, the more money they make. So think of that as something to bear in mind. So in terms of commissions, a broker will use commissions. Who uses commissions, they'll charge a specified percentage of the spread. So the spread, of course, is the difference between the bid and ask price of a Forex pair, and that's where they'll make their money, with wider spreads. So, for example, the spread could be fixed. So let's say a broker's got a fixed spread of 5 pips on the euro dollar. Now that means that's not going to change. However, part of that spread will be factoring in the broker's commission on that. So that's something to bear in mind. So keep an eye on spreads. If you're a day trader, or a long-term trader, you don't particularly need to worry about fixed spreads. But if you're kind of a short-term trader or scalping or anything like that, or trading around high-impact releases, you really need those fixed spreads to keep your account safe. Otherwise, you'll get tossed around in the markets and see trouble. Okay, so the next thing is initial deposit. So most Forex accounts can be funded with a very small initial deposit, even as low as $50 with some. Now with leverage, of course, your buying power is much greater than the minimum deposit anyway, which is one reason why Forex is quite attractive to new traders. So many brokers offer standard mini and micro accounts with varying initial deposit requirements. You also need to be aware of the ease of deposits and withdrawals. So each Forex broker will have specific account withdrawal and funding policies. And you can generally fund these online with a credit card or a bank transfer, sometimes even PayPal. And withdrawals are typically made by a bank transfer. And some brokers may charge a fee for that service. So be aware of that. So the next thing to be aware of is what currency pairs is your broker offering. So you need to be aware of what you typically trade. So take a look back at your history on previous accounts and work out what you need. Now, of course, there are lots and lots of different currencies available for trading, but only some get treated with the attention or the greatest liquidity. And of course, you've got the major dollar pairs, which are the most liquid. So you need to make sure they offer the pairs in which you're interested in. Okay, so next along is customer service. Of course, Forex is a 24 hours a day market, so the broker's customer support should be available at any one time. Now, a key consideration here is how easy can you speak with a live person rather than going through the time-consuming and frustrating kind of email type services. So whenever you consider a broker, you should do two things. First, you should give them a call and you'll get the gist. Just ask them lots of questions and you'll be able to ask them the kind of questions that we've gone through already in this video, and just get an idea of their ability to answer your questions and also how willing they are to answer. On top of that, if there's an online chat, test that chat service as well. You need to test the customer service before you invest, before you go ahead and start depositing money. And finally, the trading platform. So the trading platform is your portal to the markets. So you need to make sure that the platform and any software that you use is easy, visually pleasing, and has the tools that you need to trade. So the good thing about the way I trade is that I'm not reliant on indicators. I trade a fairly clean charts with just some daily pivot lines. So any platform is good. Now also, if you find the perfect broker but the trading platform that you want isn't there, now you don't need to worry so much, because let's say you're a seasoned MT4 user but you want to go over to a broker which are known for being really, really good and effective at their job, but they don't provide MT4. Well, there's nothing to stop you downloading an MT4 platform from another broker and just using that for a visual purpose. And then, of course, if you're looking at a more institutional trading platform with your actual account, of course, you can then do active trading on that account. So don't let the trading platform thing put you off, but it is good to know that there's a well-designed platform with clear buy and sell buttons and clear trade close buttons as well. So you'll get the gist of this when you see it. A poorly designed interface could lead to mistakes, and that's why it's good to be aware of the trading platform. So in conclusion, if you've got confidence in your Forex broker, you'll be able to devote more time and attention to analysis and developing your Forex strategy. So if you do the research before committing to a broker, that's going to go a very, very long way and increase your odds of success. Now, on top of that as well, the final piece of advice I have is, if you try and open a smaller account first, trade that for a little while, and just make a small withdrawal from that account and just see how smooth the transaction goes. If it does go well, then of course you can then go ahead and, pretty much start trading properly. So to finish this tutorial, we're going to take an example of, a broker I've been looking at and the process I went through to vet them to make sure they were good. And the company is xtrade.com. So first of all, we'll take a look at the first thing I look at on the website. So again, going into what we've said on the tutorial so far, I don't look at how pretty the sites are. I go straight to the bottom of the site without even looking at anything else, and I go through and have a look at what their regulations are. So you can see Xtrade, they're part of XFR Financial, and they're licensed by CSAC. Okay, so having a look at this, straight away I can see they've got some sort of regulation. So the next thing I'll do is I will basically go to Google and I'll want to look to see if they've had any recent fines from that Securities and Exchange Commission. So we'll have a look. So just Google the name followed by the regulation, and if an organisation has seen fines or been punished by the commissions for any illegal actions, you'll find it on page 1 because it'll be on the news. But what you can actually do is go down, you'll find a link to the regulation agency, and you can go onto that. So remember, we looked at Xtrade, who are part of XFR Financial. We can see that their license is there and it's active. We can see that it all checks out in terms of what they do, and there's no fines at all listed on that account. So that's a good thing. So first of all, we know that the regulations are there. We know that they've not got any fines. So as far as we can see, they've been acting as they should be under that compliance. So the next thing I'll do is take a look at the account details, remember, so commissions, spreads, etc. So we have a look at the Forex page. So we can actually see that there's no commissions on there, which is fantastic, and there's fixed spreads. So fixed spreads means we've got a good idea of how many pips we're going to be paying, in effect, to trade any pair at any one time. And we can see straight away that they're not being shy about their fees, which again is good. We like to see service providers being very honest about what they do. So they charge spread only, no commissions, which is a bonus. We can see that they've got an inactive account fee, but the worst case scenario, if you don't trade for 3 months, you might have to pay $5 for the account, which again it's relatively standard stuff. So in terms of what's on offer, we can see that it seems all pretty good. You can check out the list of Forex available pairs, etc. So again, if we go down here, we can see all of the details that they've got. So we've got the majors and minors and all the exotics. So I can see that they're going to have everything I need to trade. I can see that they've already got live prices on the website again, which is very good. No hidden information there. So we can see what's going on there. Now, in terms of the trading platform, I can see that because it's online CFD trading, it's online. So you've got the charts as normal by the looks of things. And again, it's nice and clear for me. And I like the fact that I can go straight to the website and see what the current prices are. I can see exactly what the spread is, and I can easily click to buy and sell, so I like that too. So on the face of it, this one looks pretty good. Now, in terms of the customer service, the next thing I'm kind of looking at is seeing what kind of facility they've got. So I can see they've got a UK telephone number, which is brilliant. So I could give them a call and see how helpful they are in terms of you know, how upfront they are with helping me out with information. And again, I can see they've got a chat with us box as well, which again is really, really good. So let's just do a little quick test of this and just see how helpful they tend to be in terms of how quick I can get through to somebody. And again, this is a live test. I've got no idea, you know, what's going to go on here. But so far, you know, you can see the processes I've gone through to really have a look at what's on offer with the broker. So while we're waiting for the response here, we'll have a look at what the promotions are. Another good thing to know. So remember we said about knowing what kind of deposits you need, what kind of offers that they are. So I can see here already, you know, you can take your first trade for free, which is good. So you can have a little play around with the platform and see how it goes. It looks like they've got cash bonuses for just verifying your phone number and also your account. So straight away I can see that if I wanted to test this platform, you know, once I've verified my account and so on and so forth, I'm going to get $45 to trade with for free. So that's great. And then I also know if I like what I see after doing that, I'm going to get a deposit on my first bonus as well. So those are a couple of things I've looked at. So on the face of it, you know, so far it seems pretty good. And as you can see, I've already got a response on this chat window, and that happened within about 30 seconds. So I can see that already the customer service seems pretty good. And let's see if I answer a question. And see how long it takes. Now, while they respond, let's have another look at the final piece of the puzzle. So the last thing I'll check, or the last group of things I'll check, is I'll go to Google. So the first thing I'll do is I'll check on Forex Peace Army and make sure that they're not listed under scam brokers. So if we go for this, let's have a look. And there's a reason why I do this as well. So the internet's gone a little bit slow for some reason, but we'll get there. Okay, so when we go to Forex Peace Army, they basically list out scam brokers. So we can go to scam alerts under Traders Court, and we'll be able to basically scroll through here and see if there's any scam alerts against the broker in question. Now, the reason why I go to this as opposed to reviews is because the thing about Forex Peace Army and online reviews is that competition brokers can also write reviews. So if I was an outside broker and I wanted to badmouth another broker, I could do that through Forex Peace Army. Now, if a scam is in the works, or some reviews, or some people ask for help, and it's a genuine thing that's happened, then Forex Peace Army will launch a traders court case against them. And they will give the broker opportunity to sort the case out, and if they don't, they'll be labelled as a scam broker. So I use this part instead of the FPA reviews, just to avoid either competitive brokers or people who have had a few bad experiences trading, they've messed their account up, they've blamed the broker, and now they're a little bit bitter about it, so they write a bad review. It happens all the time. So first of all, I make sure the broker isn't listed as a scam broker, which I've already done on Xtrade anyway. You can see already I've had an answer on the customer services, so we can close that down now on Xtrade. And the final thing I'll do is I'll just type in Xtrade review and just have a look at what comes up on Google. And again, if anything comes on as a complaint, I'll always make sure I follow up what kind of response was from that. So again, all I'll do is just open a few links. So we can see we've got scambroker.com, Forex fraud. Let's have a look at this one. X-Trade scam. So again, I'm being diligent in just doing my research to make sure that the broker checks out rather than just go because they've got a pretty platform and a pretty website. So we can see we've got reviews here. What I tend to do, I tend to scroll to the bottom, see what other people have had with this. So let's have a look. So we can see we've got one guy as an example who tried to say that X-Trade is a scam on November the 7th. He said he just deposited his money and he really regrets trading. Well, he's done that pretty much the day after opening an account. So again, if you deposit funds, or you see somebody who's just deposited funds and they're saying it's a scam, again, what makes them feel this way? If they're a well-regulated broker, the chances are there's been a mistake. So what we need to do is sift through all of these reviews and look for the genuine ones with any broker. Now, every single broker in the world you will find some bad reviews. Every single broker, because as I say, you've got competitive brokers and you've also got, people who have kind of messed the account up and are struggling and are blaming the broker. So you need to make sure you filter through those poor reviews. And you can see on scambroker.com, for example, and the last one we looked at, X-Traders, the example we're using, were getting good reviews. Now, bear this in mind. Any broker, if it's a genuine scam broker, the reasons to know are: one, Forex Peace Army will flag them as a scam broker, and number two, there'll be hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of reviews online. If you bear in mind that there's thousands of people with these brokers trading under them, if there's only one or two bad reviews there, that's pretty good going for any broker. So bear that in mind. And again, I'm just looking at this other one, Daily Forex Review. Again, a site I've never actually used, but it looks like they're reviewing it. And again, I'm just looking to see what the conclusions are, just to get an idea of how reliable this broker could be. And there's one red flag I found on X-Trade. A guy had lodged a complaint, and a couple of others followed up. However, Forex Peace Army decided not to follow this one up because there wasn't anything substantial in terms of any evidence there. So again, it appeared that it was a competitor broker. So I've done my research. So you've seen the process I go through. So I take a look at the broker, I take a look at their offerings, I do some Googling and see if there's anything that stands out. So the first thing to check is make sure they've got no fines under their regulatory body. So then at that point, you know that they're trading all above board and legal. And secondly, just make sure that they're not listed as a scam broker on Forex Peace Army or any other reputable websites. And of course, always test the customer services. So that's the my advice on choosing a broker. Now, each person has different expectations and hopes when it comes to finding a broker. Always try them first, try a small amount and build it up. Myself, I know that X-Trade have been really good so far for online trading. The mobile app's fantastic. So if you do want to find out a little bit more about X-Trade, do check out the banner at dailyforexscore.com. But again, there's many good brokers out there, and they're not too difficult to find. So just do your research and follow the advice that I've given you in this presentation, and no doubt you'll have a pleasant Forex trading experience.